Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, on Roku, Dwyer Boxing and Sports News. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let's talk about Gennady Golovkin and David Lemieux. Just a follow-up video. In looking at some films earlier tonight, I realized now more than ever that this fight definitely is going to end by stoppage. There's just no way this fight lingers, right? Let me point out that one of the secrets of Golovkin's success, and it's a big secret, is that he throws power shots high. He's throwing hybrid punches, right? It's not just a basic hook, right? And he's generating great power. It's not a straight hand, right? He seems to have some hybrid punch where he's throwing not a tight hook, but he's throwing like a long hook. It's long, right? It's not a straight punch. It's a long punch. And I believe that it lands high on a guy, and his opponents who have never seen punches like this before are absolutely dumbfounded by the power the punch brings, right? Take a look at the Marco Antonio Rubio fight where he gets hit on the top of the head with a shot, and it's clear he's surprised at the power it brings. Right? The bottom line is most guys aren't going to be prepared to defend themselves up here. Certainly not David Lemieux. Right? It's very odd what Golovkin does. Right? Understand too, you have another problem. You put your hand up here, and Golovkin has a great uppercut. Golovkin throws a very good left hand to the body. Right now, looking at films of David Lemieux, Lemieux's a hunter himself. Lemieux, by the way, has much faster hand speed than Golovkin. Much faster hand speed. Right? But Lemieux isn't that defensively gifted. You don't see Lemieux fights where he has his hands way up here. And Lemieux's not the kind of guy who really stays outside and is playing games with distance, right? So you know Lemieux's going to be pretty much right around the pocket. You know you're going to be able to reach out and touch him. It's just a matter of whether he touches you first. This fight has shootout written all over it. My point to you is punches are going to land, right? I'm expecting Lemieux to take the first round because he's the faster guy. But I'm expecting Golovkin to then start to land his own shots. Let's just say neither guy, in my opinion, neither guy has a lot of survival skills because neither guy has really needed it. Right? David Lemieux, in a fight where he's really tested, he loses the fight. The Rubio fight, he folds up like a lawn chair. He's not grabbing a hand, he's not holding, he's not turning. No, he's getting hit and he's getting hurt. Right? Somebody's going to get hit and hurt in this fight. Let me also point out, too, that Golovkin throws punches at wide angles. Right? It's awkward. It's a weakness, but it's also a strength. Right? Someone who can fight low, who can take away Golovkin's high power. Right? His shots where he's throwing not a hook, not a mid-range hook, not a straight hand. He's throwing some hybrid shot. Right? Where at the end of it, his hand's almost fully extended, but it comes from the side. right? Someone who can get inside of Golovkin's extended arm, right? Who can work Golovkin's body, but do so at an angle where Golovkin can't hit you with an uppercut right here, would give him trouble. Let me say this. Abel Sanchez is hoping that you have a de facto box-off taking place at middleweight. Abel Sanchez is the trainer for Golovkin. He's hoping the winner of Canelo Cotto fights the winner of Golovkin Lemieux. Now, I get a lot of comments here online, as you can imagine, and I'm just telling you that, in my opinion, you, the boxing public, are underestimating Miguel Cotto. Right? I think in this de facto tournament, Cotto could well win it. I'm expecting Cotto to beat Canelo. Then if he takes on the winner of Lemieux, Golovkin, I think he's going to give that person all they could handle. Because both Lemieux and Golovkin like to come forward. Cotto actually, these days, can actually move around the ring. He's not going to be right in front of you. Right? And I believe Cotto, I think Golovkin and Lemieux do better against taller opponents. I believe the whole thing is counterintuitive. In other words, you're better, quite frankly, inside on Golovkin than trying to move outside where he gets a chance to extend his arms. Right? You're actually better off being a shorter guy than a taller guy. Also, forget the marketing. I know Cotto's going around saying, hey, I'm not a middleweight. If you're not a middleweight, then why are you knocking guys out at middleweight? Is there a Cotto middleweight fight where his opponent has gone the distance? Right? Cotto's wearing a belt at middleweight. He's knocking guys out. But yet he's trying to convince you he's not a real middleweight, even though he's unbeaten at middleweight. And folks actually believe that a guy who's spent most of his career fighting at 154 in catch weights is actually the truer middleweight in his upcoming bout. Don't get fooled. Just know one thing if you take one takeaway from this video. To me, it's clear there's going to be a stoppage in the Lemieux-Golovkin fight. Right? Both guys hit hard. Right? One guy has a decided hand speed advantage. The other guy is throwing punches at odd angles that give guys with defense problems. And I would say Lemieux's not defensively gifted. So I'm expecting a stoppage in this fight. I believe if you study film of Golovkin carefully, you're going to notice that as unbeatable as he looks, most of the guys he fought were outside, trying to beat him from the outside in. Right? The Qasim Uma fight, you hardly see him back up to create space in that bout, to dole out the kind of punishment he wants to dole out. You'll notice, too, that Uma takes away that high power of his, both hands. That high power of his where he's throwing punches is kind of like a slicker Marcus Maidana. Right? He's throwing high shots. And I believe the experienced fighters that he's facing, right? Matthew Macklin, Daniel Gill, they see it. They haven't seen it in training because sparring partners don't throw shots like this. They're throwing either crosses, standard crosses, right? Overhand punches, right? Or tight hooks. They're not throwing hybrid. This is like a slurve. Anyone remember Bert Hooton in baseball? Right? This is a slurve. You know, not quite a slider, not quite a curve, but it knocks you out. Right? Expect a stoppage in Golovkin, Lemieux. Right? Either Golovkin lands on his hybrid high punches, or he succumbs to Lemieux's aggression, faster hands, tighter punches. Right? That's how I see it. Just want to share the thought. I just watched some film on it. Just take a look at Golovkin videos. Right? Great body work, great uppercut. But I believe his calling card are these hybrid shots. Right? They're different. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for stopping by.